and I'll call meeting 1474 to order. At this time, I would like to welcome the online viewers, and remind public that our gallery is always open. Yep, no worries. Agenda meeting number 1474 in front of you. Are there any additions to the agenda?
Can I have, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to add the quarterly report from the fire department there as well to the end, if you don't mind.
Perfect.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Jones?
New business trails.
New business trails. All right. Any other additions?
New business for our ice and snow that will go on my finance report. Salt for ice and snow, not bringing snow and ice.
That's quite fine. I just wrote down ice and snow.
That's what it says there, so.
All right. All right, moving on. The minutes for special meeting, let me see here, I'm off track. Minutes for a regular meeting held on June 13th, meeting number 1473. Can I get a mover to accept the minutes, please?
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Fitzgerald, seconded by Councillor Langdon. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. Special meeting held on June the 10th. The minutes for special meeting June 10th are presented. Are there any errors or omissions? Noting none. Can I get a mover? Moved by Councillor Langdon, seconded by Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried.
Sorry, can I just bring up?
Go ahead.
Was it mentioned that I stepped away here? I'm just reading it over. Anyway, if it doesn't, then maybe just have a look.
All right, note it.
For the special meeting.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I think it indicates that I'm. Yeah, it indicates I'm there. Yeah. I think. Looks like it.
It does. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, error noted. Thank you.
Good catch.
So we have a mover and a seconder. All those in favor? Motion carried. Business arising from the minutes. Is there any business arising from the minutes?
I was just wondering if we had an update on the letter we were supposed to send to our MHA for the bridge. What type of bridge is going there or whatever.
So we've reached out to the MHA office, who's been in contact with the department responsible. So we should expect a letter for our July meeting. But we had wrote an email, and then I had a telephone conversation with the Premier's office, and they had stated that they wouldn't require a formal letter, that the email will suffice, but they were looking to give us an update.
Okay, thank you.
And just
Councillor Jones, I can comment on that as well. I know they are looking into options there as well, and speaking with the stakeholders to look at potential other options of the best location for the bridge as well. So, I'm not sure. Is my mic working, guys?
Yeah,
Good.
I can hear
okay. Yeah, you can hear me, Gordon?
you. I can hear
Okay.
you. Yeah. I can.
all right. Just for clarification, that's the Hinton Bridge, correct, Councillor Jones?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Is there any other business arising from minutes? Hearing none, we'll move on to new business. Councillor Jones.
Yeah, I just wondering about the trails. I know we're doing work with the extension and the spillway trails. Are we doing any maintenance? Is there any foresee in the future for maintenance on the previous trails we have? Because I had a few, I guess, citizens that walk the trails are asking me if there's going to be any work done to, because they are deteriorating. Especially one down by the beach is not just haven't been. I don't know if there's any work been on that for a while. And one up by the airport there, we're getting a lot of sand and bag wet. So no, my understanding was supposed to be mulching done that year, so I just wondering, how are we gonna do it, or is spillway gonna take all of our time?
Yeah, Councillor, I guess I can answer that, Councillor Jones. So we have been looking at prioritising different areas of our current trails as well. Once routine maintenance is completed, so we're hoping that's going to be done in the next couple of weeks. This year, I guess the priority will be on, so I guess the trails crew and our town staff, we consider two different trails, two different entities, right? So they will focus on the town side on the Nicholsville Road portion when that started. So let's say, I don't know, where's the entire length of Nicholsville Road, right? we'll start, and then I can't comment on the trails crew of what their plan is beyond spillway in terms of time frames and stuff, but I guess we can certainly get an update.
I say,
So
Jason,
flip email as well, just, so when people ask, I just give them an answer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and certainly
those are
what
grand.
we've done is we've had the trails crew kind of go down on the beach trail to kind of have a look to assess, so that we can work with recreation to come up with a plan. So it is, I know I can speak for Glenn, it is in the scope of work in terms of along with cleaning the beach and Swartz Park and the mowing of the grass and whatnot. But it is in there, so we have identified, as well as I know there you're talking about is when you enter from the airport side. When you come in, the trails crew did go up and do some substantial work to redirect a lot of the water in that area, but there is still some wet spots that do need just an extra layer of mulch, we'll say.
Yes.
So we have identified that too. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of rain too, where both crews, recreation and the trails crew, have been limited on what they can do. But we're hoping now in the next couple of weeks to get Spillway continue to be approved, so it can be a finished trail, as well as the beach trail, we'll call it, and the entrance near the airport. But that has been identified, and we got lots of wonderful residents and visitors that love the trail. But we appreciate too that they do bring back their feedback in terms of identifying areas that we need to make sure, because we have a nice trail and we want to keep it that way.
yeah.
That's why I
100%.
told them, I said, we don't,
Yeah.
we don't know about it, we can't address it.
100%.
No, and that's what we sit here for, again, just to echo the manager's comment about thanks for bringing it to council, because that's what we sit for, and to get concerns brought, so thank you for bringing that up. And as always, thank our employees, and Mother Nature hasn't been so cooperative this year, Councillor Jones, as we know, so that's probably plays a large part in the concerns. So thanks again, all great conversation. Any further new business, Councillor Jones?
No, good for me, thanks.
Councillor Freak, invoice to present.
I'll add that to finance.
All right, thank you. Moving on, if there's no other new business, correspondence in front of you. Item number 1, there's just one tonight. Grossmorn Theatre Festival Season Launch Gala is going to be held on June 22nd, and the RSVP should be in sooner than later. It appears that it's past date. I'm not sure if anyone can attend. If so, give it some thought sooner than later, and get back to the town clerk if you could, please. And with that, it concludes correspondence. Moving on to reports. Finance, Councillor Freak, please.
Myself, Councillor Jones, Councillor Fitzgerald, Town Manager Jason Young, Town Clerk Laurie Humphreys all met on June the 11th. Item number 1, the PSD citywide grant services for $426.97, recommended approval. I will be removing item number 2 as there was new information on this one today. We will remove that, not defer. Item number 3, the annex change order number 34 for $3,184.75, recommended approval. Item number 4, annex change order number 35 for $5,355.48, recommended approval. Item number 5, Main Dam Road relocation of the pole, $8,713.11, recommended approval, as this is part of the Capital Works project. Item number 6, Western Regional Waste Management Spring Cleanup for $1,943.50, recommended approval, and we will get an update on the savings this year on that. Item number 7 is our payment to be made for ice control material for February 2024 for plus taxes was $9,211.78. I make a motion to pass the finance report.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Jones. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. Accounts payable, Councillor Freak, please.
Okay, so accounts payable, we're going to remove number 8 for B&S Trucking and number 49 for Western Steelworks. So, the report, the remaining report, the total cost is $98,719.94. So I make a motion to pass the accounts payable.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Hancock. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you.
I'm
Okay.
going to sub out for number 8, conflict.
I make a motion to pay the invoice for B&S Trucking for $2,714 for depot and hotter dumpster rental.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you.
I'll stay with number 49.
Okay, item number 49, I make a motion to pay the invoice to Western Steelworks for $352.06 for some mechanical, hydraulic, and flat bars.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. That concludes accounts payable. And just for council, I've been watching a few other public meetings and other council meetings in other communities, and I was under the thought that possibly we could ask anyone that would declare conflict could abstain, but thanks to the clerk, she's found the answer, so we are doing it right. I just thinking maybe we could have a little better flow, not have to step out, but we are doing it right, so hats off to everyone, and thanks to the town clerk for clarification. Moving on to environment and housing, Councillor Jones, please.
Okay, we had a meeting on Wednesday, June 12th. Myself, Councillor Fitzgerald, Dave Thomas, Krista Jones, and Jason Young was in attendance. Here it is presented in front of you. Number 1 to number 16 is general repairs. Permits have been issued. For number 17 to 26 for extension, decks and patios, permits have been issued. Number 27 to number 30. Permits have been issued for accessory buildings. Under new dwellings, number 31, 9 Island View Heights, new dwelling. Permit been issued. Number 32, it's 62 to 64 Riverbank Road, a new dwelling permit issued. Under accessory buildings, 32 Crossers Road, looking to extend the garage. Is next to her, is close to her boundary, but she would like to put an extension on, and we recommend approval as this is, I guess we'll call it dead land in the back, Tony Boggy area. Number 34, 1 to 3 Joel's Crescent, requesting 6-foot fence in front yard. Our regulations states except where permitted by council for screening purposes, no fence located between the front yard building line and the street line shall exceed 0.75 meters in height above the street grades. We recommend to deny this application. Number 35 for 8 Goose Arm Road would like to change its domestic sawmill to a commercial sawmill. She approved the domestic sawmill, but as advertised, you could only have one. We recommend we deny this application. The zoning is RMD. For number 36, 18 Amanda Avenue, received response from letters sent regarding garage living. We'll like a 2-year extension. We're recommending a 1-year extension to this applicant, and the date would have to be completed by August 29th, 2025. Number 7, this is on a new business, a business seeking possibilities of offering a bus service for Deer Lake surrounding areas. Right now, it's just an FY. We're trying to get the details worked out. And number 38, you want to step out down, Jason? Or? Sure. Okay, we can get that one after. It's okay right now. Number 39, land development policy. I request that the policy committee update the land development policy to include clearing of land. Having a few issues there, so we're going to recommend to proceed with this. And number 40 to 43, we have some cleanup orders issued in the for the town, and 4 of these addresses are presented. So I move that we accept the environment, housing, excluding, and number 38. I would do separate motion.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Jones, seconded by Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question.
Item number 34. Are we able to provide a solution on?
No, just the 1 meter, I think 1 meter. 1 meter high, because they want to do close to the road and obstructs and goes against our regulations.
So like where we've had others kind of tear it back, you go from 1 meter to like, this is the point that you can kind of slope it down and,
Yeah, that's the conversation that we can certainly open,
Yeah.
but again, the request was for to go 6 foot right to the curb.
yeah,
So
okay.
unfortunately, but once we deny, you know, that that's not permitted in the development regulations, we can certainly look at, you're right,
Providing a
many dwellings that are on intersections or neighboring roads do have what we'll call the tiered fence.
Right,
But the main reason for, I guess, the refusal from the committee is that for sightlines, is
Right.
that for traffic or for pedestrians, that you have a 6 foot fence
Yeah.
right to the curb, it do, you know, limit
okay,
viewing. So we will work with the homeowner on other opportunities, but
Okay.
at what was presented doesn't meet our regulations.
okay, and the other one, number 33, is there any application to, the Crown Lands? Were they looking for more land? Or is that where the boundary was?
No, it's where the boundary was, but in the back is over there on Crassus Road,
Road.
and the back is all the, it runs alongside it, which is our land, and it's just baggy material.
Right,
So
okay,
it's not interfering with no other property adjacent to it.
okay.
All right, thank you. Any further questions? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. Moving on to health and wellness, Council.
No, I'm gonna do number 28 separate, or 38 separate, sorry.
38, okay, sorry about that.
So under the new business, 92715 Newfoundland Corp., Crown Land Spillway Area seeking to support for rezoning to RMD, which is residential medium density. We're recommending approval for this application.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Jones, seconded by
So moved.
Yeah.
Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question. Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jones. Moving on to the health and wellness report, Councillor Hancock, please.
All right, Health and Wellness Committee met May, oh my goodness, is that right, May 4th? That can be right. We didn't meet on May 4th, I'm on a different date. Lori will tell you guys in a second. June 4th, yeah. Number one, June 4th. Number one, information gala. The town of Deer Lake partnered with Seniors Newfoundland for an all-age info gala. We had over 13 organizations provide valuable information to the residents of Deer Lake. Number two, Girls at Bat. The last day is tomorrow at the time of the meeting. There are a few parents that want to keep it going, so they will be able to use the equipment that we have. Number three, Move More, Stress Less series. The dog park restock of toys. We're looking at hosting an event Tuesday, June 25th. Going to have, that was one of the more popular, I guess, Move More, Stress Less events. And we'll restock the dog park with some treats and some toys there as well. Hiking group. The committee is looking at starting a hiking group starting June 22nd. We'll advertise to see if anyone wants to go. Town Clerk Lori to look for park passes. If not, Health and Wellness will buy a couple. Starting with the Coastal Trail. Recommend approval. Route 430, so this will be like sort of the celebration of the lighting piece, but we're looking at the fall now for an event when it gets a little darker earlier in the day. That's just an FYI. Number 5, family health care. Looking at hosting an appreciation evening, bowling with pizza. We're going to plan for July when Melanie is back in town. Recommend approval on that as well. Motion to accept the Health and Wellness Committee report as presented.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Hancock, seconded by Councillor Jones. Call for question. Hearing none. All those
Yeah,
oh,
just,
go ahead.
the last item there. Did we already do the 2024, like, appreciation for the 80s night?
This one was specific to the family health over here, like the clinic over here. It's only going to be them. Just them,
Okay.
sort of a celebratory piece. Yeah,
Okay.
just to sort of invite them all, welcome them to their new positions, town of Deer Lake.
Okay, cool.
And a lot of them wouldn't have participated because a lot of them are new.
New. Okay, that's
yeah.
awesome.
All right, any further questions for the Health and Wellness Committee report? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried, thank you. Moving on to Public Works, Councillor Fitzgerald, please.
All right, Public Works met on June 13th. In attendance was Director of Public Works, Dave Thomas, Town Manager Jason Young, Public Works Superintendent Scotty Elms, and myself. Item number 1 was the famous Goose Arm George Aaron intersection. If you haven't seen, posts have been installed near the sidewalk, and lines have been painted. There was a recommendation to turn it back to what Councillor Jones did originally, we're a 2-lane T section. So we're there, and we'll be moving to create new signage to remove the stop sign on Goose Arm. Once the signage is created, we'll be opening that up as agreed back in 2021. Item number 2, crosswalks and school zones. Obviously, our weather hasn't been all that great, and the crosswalks will be painted once weather permits. Item number 3, bandstand electrical. We should have everything completed within 2 weeks. Item number 4, the Riverbank Road final report. I know we've discussed this a few times, so we've asked a consultant for the final report, and we're just waiting to have the information provided to us. Item number 5, the Nicholsville Road lift station at Tower Road. So this is the lift station's is the bridge lift station, Nicholsville lift station. I don't want to get confused. Is complete. The one that right there by Riverbank. We are permitted to use the savings from this project for that of for Spillway as well. So the work will begin in Nicholsville Road, Tower Road this week, and we'll be moving to the Spillway once staff is available for the most part. Item number 6, this is for the beach market that's going to be presented very shortly, and just for the general uses of the people at Joe Butt and the beach. We're just looking at a price for the new flashing crosswalk signs. We know it's not in the budget, but we're just seeing what the price is. In the meantime, we're going to recommend temporarily removing a sign from High Street from one of our crosswalk areas and putting that sign in that area during the summer months and returning it before school starts in September. I recommend that you accept the report of June 13th for Public Works. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Fitzgerald, seconded by Councillor Langdon. Call for question. Councillor Jones, please.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor and Councillor Jones. Just want to comment, actually, really like the new layout of the George Aaron Drive intersection. I was a little apprehensive, like many of our residents, when we first started, but I think the flow is in the best interest of safety there now, so I appreciate your diligence on that, Councillor Fitzgerald.
That's the Public Works crew, man.
All right, thank you. Councillor Jones, please.
Yeah, I guess, like, again, with that intersection, I guess the more and more I go over there, it's just, I don't know, it's something that really, time of removing the stop sign. I see the trees are there still on the corner that you can't look left in towards Goose Arm Road. To me, I talk to a couple of people that do drive a big, like, vehicles or a trailer or truck and trailer. I think it would be harder to make a turn, especially going right towards the northern peninsula. I don't know, it just don't seem right. I can't be, I can't support this one, but, I understand why you're doing it. I wouldn't agree with you, but I understand why you're doing it. So, I don't know if there's anything we can do, or just proceeding, or what everybody else feels around the table.
I guess my biggest question I'd ask you is, why don't you feel it's safe if it meets all recommended standards from the Transportation Association of Canada?
To me, I guess driving there, I feel that it's not safe. Like I said, if I'm there and I'm getting ready to turn with a trailer in, it's very hard to turn there. You gotta go all the way out, and you gotta make the wide turn past the lane that you're turning in. There's a straight lane there now, one lane turn left.
But that's typical for all intersections in municipalities.
If we build a new one, I can understand, but with no issues there before, what I can't understand is there was no issues before.
But there was issues there before it was brought to council. We've gone through this over and over again.
I know, and I just can't agree with it. I'm sorry, but I don't know, I'm just afraid something's gonna happen. And I talked to several people there, and people that do drive big rigs, and they're not comfortable with it. Before, it was a nice turn to the right, you can move on. Now you come to anybody like let's say a slower response person driving, if you look down over the hill to your right, and then once you move, and then you look up to the other way, maybe it just don't make sense to me.
Well, I don't understand how it don't make sense. When
Dear
it makes
Mrs.
sense to, if you went anywhere in this country, it's now a T intersection with proper sight lines, proper everything. We've looked at it, we've glanced at it, We've reviewed it, and I think what we have is a proper T intersection. And it's like that everywhere else.
No, not like it everywhere else, I'm sure it's not, you know.
It's just that there's a new, we remove something that slows traffic down, we have traffic calming. People do not want to stop at the stop sign when they had a yield there before, and now they're forced to have a stop, which makes it safer for people walking, for people driving from the Northern Peninsula, for people out of town. It's all right when we all say that we all know how to use Chapel Hill, but if you put Chapel Hill in Corner Brook, I guarantee you there'll be accidents everywhere.
Yeah,
Just
but-
locals know how to do it, but once you follow someone with the out-of-province license plate up Chapel Hill, they have no idea what to do. This was the exact same thing at Goose Arm and George Arm.
I'm trying to see some comparison there, and when you go to the lane and turn left, you could, that's no problem to see. I guess like Maple Valley, when you come out Maple Valley to go towards, let's say, the highway part of it, when you turn to the right, you gotta stop. There's a right lane there, you stop, you move, you proceed. The other one is lots of clearance, and none of you no interference, I can see that. But we're just gonna bar it off altogether. I just can't see, I can't see it, the logic be on it, and, sorry.
Okay.
All right, great conversation as always. We sit here for debate. That's the blessing of democracy, to do it in a fair and public
Mr. Mayor, sorry,
transaction.
can I
Go
make
ahead.
one comment there too?
Just let me speak.
oh,
for a
sorry, yeah,
sec.
go ahead.
Finish, please. The reality is that it went to a vote. Councillor Jones, myself, and yourself didn't vote in favor, but if we read the report in respect to Public Works, this is a update on finishing, I guess, and the work has been done, correct? Back to comments. The other reality is to really put this to rest, instead of having verbal confirmation back and forth, I'd like to see it on paper, so I'm requesting from the Director of Public Works that shows TAC Canada regulation stats and everything surrounding it to be presented in email form to council, so we can put this one to rest either way. And with that, I'll pass you the floor, Councillor Langdon, please.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. Like I said, just one final comment. Do I think the situation now is an ideal situation? No. Do I believe that it's better than what it was? Yes, and we keep talking about vehicle safety there all the time. And right now, I believe it is safer. I'm not an expert in the industry. I believe from the facts that I have been presented and from experience that it is safer. But we always overlook the conversation never been had about pedestrian safety there either. Before I sat on council, I know they changed, there's a light post added to the bottom of the hill. Can any previous councillors tell me
Yes.
why that was added?
For nighttime vision, it was requested
Someone-
again. came
For
from
nighttime, and I believe a woman actually got struck there at one point, right? And it was immediately after? Thanks there, Dave. So a woman actually got struck on the hill,
They get
and
stuck
that's
down below.
why, so we could tell there was a safety concern there if a woman got struck on the hill. So the town recognized that there was an issue with safety because we added a light.
I think that was more of a,
It
The
was
lady
in-
got,
right.
the lady got struck down in the dip.
yeah, like a
For
wave.
sure, from the vehicle that took the right turn with excessive speed. I know myself, I was guilty of it. I didn't yield properly at that sign. I spent a lot of time looking behind, and several times I've been caught off guard by a person. So I think still it's in the best interest of safety there. Is it ideal? No. Personally, I'd like to see a roundabout there. But do I feel it's a better situation than what was there? Absolutely. And I thank Councillor Fitzgerald for his diligence on the matter.
And we'll move to hire a consultant to go do a study on that, just to solve this issue.
Yeah, just have it in paper form, right? So then it's.
Yep, we'll hire a consultant.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna add, so I like that we put the post in to kind of clarify and that we've got the lines painted. So now everybody was guessing what they were doing, but now it's kind of clear. But with the obstacles that are now there to kind of remove that, is it harder for somebody with a trailer or a transfer truck to make that turn? Because when you think about, I'll talk about like Mayor's Lane, Mayor Avenue, and we get people come with the culverts, for example, and they kind of take that wide turn. They kind of catch Mr. McDonald's grass every single time. Like they're kind of, you can see how the wear and tear is like trying to take that turn. So have we created something? It's one thing to have the right lane there, but did we put an extra post in that kind of makes the obstacle a little bit harder?
I think the last obstacle there would be the stop sign.
Okay, okay. So if we can make note of that, it's 4 feet wider, there's not an obstacle in the way, we should be able to turn a transfer truck. It's just so residents, those are the questions that I've been asked. Stop sign, okay. Okay.
Right. And I agree for sure, like, just, you know, it's definitely worse than what it was before with the trailer for sure, but there's definitely intersections that are a lot worse. One that comes to mind
Tons
is, you know,
smaller.
coming out of White's Lane on the White's Road, there's a telephone post right there, right?
Yep.
Which I noticed when we used to do the grass, I always just cut that turn and almost take out the trailer with the telephone pole, right? So there's numerous intersections around town that I would argue
I was
are-
actually writing down, as we're talking, writing down intersections. There was an intersection today, our Crescent and Church Street. Like, I think we could honestly, this one's on the table and it's got a lot of public attention, but I think we could make some headway with other intersections that, I was coming up Church and you're trying to get around the island. You can't see around the island. It hasn't been mowed. The trees are growing in the way. And I was like,
Yeah, you're
This
right.
could
And
be a
actually, back in 2021, I believe, in one of our first council meetings, we talked about this intersection that was mentioned today. We talked about, I don't know if you call it a roundabout or what it is, that little island in front of Active Life. And we talked about down by Flex Fitness,
Right.
that island that's there, and how the Trans-Canada Highway. So we actually discussed going out and looking at, you know, having someone come look at multiple intersections.
Yeah.
Just to see that as Deer Lake continues to grow,
And Chapel Hill.
we want new people. Well, Chapel Hill is,
a beast.
yeah, the recommendation is probably going to be to bar it off. But, you know, it is, again, something that maybe we go back to the committee level and starting to look at some of these intersections that probably, you know, get another set of eyes on them to see. Because the big one we looked at from Flex Fitness, I know Councillor Fitzgerald, you and I looked at, that, I mean, when that becomes a Trans-Canada Highway in a storm, they've got a hairpin turn to come. They've got to use a section of Gatehouse. That doesn't really make sense. We all saw that at the previous council when we had the fire at the Rockwood. That I think the discussion and debate around this one intersection opens the eyes. There's probably a couple that we should have to look at.
Definitely, and that's great points. I mean, if you go back to 1984 when there was a tragic accident down by the Legion, it sparked TI, or Transportation Infrastructure, to put those overpasses in. If you'll see it stamped under 1986 because of a fatality and because of discussion in government, in public engagement. So back to the point, I mean, everyone sits around here wanting to do their best, not trying to change things for the worst. Obviously, we're not all going to agree. Back to clarification, Councillor Fitzgerald said, you know, through himself and the director, we'll get clarification from a registered engineer that shows proof that this is a better decision, and we'll leave it there. Just item number 4, I'm going to ask the town manager to speak to if there's no further discussion on the intersections
like
in the community.
I'd like to make just a comment. More of a curiosity. I mean, I guess that's going to come back anyway, but I guess I'm wondering is, and I can get everyone's point, and I think that I do think it's something needs to be done there in terms of finishing up what's there. I do wonder, though, when that stop sign's removed, I guess we'll have to, are we going to inform or just remove?
We're going to inform, plus we
Okay.
got signage that's being created
Okay.
to let people know.
Good, okay. And then the only other piece, I'm just curious, the old right turn, like the old merge piece, if it were just like it is now and that merge was there, this is more of a curiosity thing, I listen to everyone talk kind of thing, and the stop sign was out, and that merge would have been a stop sign, is that an appropriate intersection, or is it not an appropriate? I'm thinking of Corner Brook, when you come out, say, behind the mall, and you head towards that, and you go straight and turn left, or you stop at that stop sign and go.
But once, I'll always bring to your attention that anyone that comes to the Goose Arm Road rarely stops.
I got you.
Anyone that comes to those kind of signs, even if you're pulling out from, if you wanted to say, trying to think, even on Confederation in Corner Brook, we have a stop sign to go to the overpass at Deer Lake. If there's nothing coming, no one is stopping.
Like I always thought that.
Our
was a
stop
good
sign right by the Legion coming off the highway.
Yeah. I always thought that stop sign should probably, like, it made sense that people could just flow there, just like they do at that one in Corner Brook. I mean, like, all kinds of traffic.
But
going
it's all
past
meant
that
for
one,
traffic calming, and like I said, our basis for removing this one, based on the committee, was to
improve safety.
why have that
Okay.
kind of setup in a municipality?
My curiosity was, are both of those legal and appropriate intersections, or is only this design
Well,
a
anything is
kind of, you know what I mean?
anything
Like
is
in terms of the
Yeah.
design and like you were talking about, it's just approved by federal government or standards or whatever.
Yeah.
Are both of them? Like if that
Well,
stop
it
sign
would
was
be,
gone?
anything
Okay.
would be. The only thing is that we were looking at traffic calming, pedestrian safety, Obviously, we'd love to see a sidewalk go down through there,
Yeah,
and widening of the road,
definitely.
and
Yeah, that's
widening of
true.
that intersection. It was an old highway, and it was rebuilt. When
That's
they
true.
took, when the town took over Nicholsville, they put back exactly what was there in the first place. So,
All right. Well, I guess we'll see how it goes.
yeah.
Okay,
Whatever.
all great conversation. Again, for a reminder, that's what we sit here for, folks. So, again, we'll get a clarification from the committee and move on from there. I'm just gonna ask the town manager to speak to item number 4 real quickly, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so just for a quick update, because it does state there, a meeting did take place on Friday. Myself and Dave Thomas, the Public Works Director, had a conversation with the consultant who did the copy of the draft report. So we've gone back now and asked for some Class D estimates and to get a final version over a couple different scenarios, because one is that we got to look at the troublesome areas that are there now. They've got to be addressed, but also look at that this may continue on the rest of the road. So we had a great conversation with a representative on Friday. So he's going to send us some details to get the Class D estimates, because this was on last year's capital works list, and it will be on the 2024 or 25 this fall, I imagine.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to get ahead of that and get some numbers, so then we do put our applications in. So just to let the residents know, we haven't forgotten about that area. And a lot of discussion we have now, the water is still high in the river, so when that water starts to subside, it's probably you're gonna see more, I guess, is it, Councillor Fitzgerald, a slough you would call, the undermining of the road?
Could be a possibility.
So we factor that in, and we've gone out to the consulting firm to make sure now, try to get those numbers, because we wanna be proactive and get something done before something bad happens over there. So just to give an update, we'll hopefully have something for the next Public Works meeting, and we'll have a much more detailed update to come back to council at our next meeting.
All right, thank you.
Just a quick comment about that one. Was there a short, or was there like a more than one recommendation in terms of like something you could do now versus, and then a long-term solution? Like, was there short-term and long-term? Is that built in there? I don't even know what they are, but are they both in there?
It was in the draft report. I can't remember, so long ago since we read it. That's why we've asked for the final report.
Oh, okay.
I think the interim solution was more or less a reflection of the larger repairs over time. So,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they locate the area of concern. Obviously, there's a slide right there in the middle of Riverbank
Yeah.
to reinstate that, but it is a overall plan for Riverbank Road as such. So,
Okay.
there is no interim, more or less, remediation. This is the remediation process. Start here, move
Gotcha.
along the road. If I'm right in saying that, if I can remember.
Yeah, you're correct. And what we've looked at, I mean, we explained to the consultant, it's probably going to be a phased approach,
Oh, okay.
because, I mean, it's a substantial distance that we have to rectify the issues that are apparent now, and then look at, where the other issues could be identified. So it's most of the road has to be, rehabilitated. So we said, we kind of want to get at this, because we want to make sure that the road is safe.
It'll be
Okay.
a significant investment for the town.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I look forward to seeing it. Thanks. You say you'll bring back a more, like a. more
We should have the
information.
final report. We've asked for it over and over again. Obviously,
Sure.
consultants are busy.
Sure.
So
Thanks. Thanks.
All right, any further questions, comments, discussion for the always popular
Whoa.
Public Works
Whoa.
Committee report? Councillor Fitzgerald, you got off too easy on last one. I went through just straight as a whip, so. All right, so we have a mover, a seconder, all those in favor, motion carried. Councillor Jones, just for your, back to your comment, you're not voting on, this is just
I'm
an
against it.
FYI. He wants to vote against item number 1, but it's just an FYI, so I don't see, so we're just gonna put you in as voting against the report, right?
But there is a recommendation to
There's a
change to
recommendation
one
change to
turning
one
lane.
lane too, so once you start the process, you're going with.
Although,
we
are
changed
you
it back to what it
are you
was on the
against
21st.
2 becoming 1 though? Like, that's only very specific to
I'm
that.
just against,
The whole thing.
as I repeat, I'm against the way we're gonna
Okay.
go about it, and we're time of
Yeah.
calming traffic, and we're gonna remove stop sign and.
I just mean that this particular one is just
Which
about
is,
changing
which is
2
reflected
to
in your
1.
first vote, so, just,
I'm against it.
Okay.
all right. So you got your count? Motion carried. All right, moving on to the delightful arts, recreation, and culture. Councillor Langham.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We hope to cause less controversy. Departments. The Department of Arts, Recreation, and Culture met on May 23rd. No, I can't be right either. June something.
June
Last,
23rd.
Friday.
23rd.
Friday, so June 15th. At 11:15, in attendance was myself and Councillor Hancock and Director of Recreation and Community Services Glenn Wiseman. And Mr. Mayor, just am I okay to add just 2 FYIs to that as well? Is that fine with you? Excellent, thanks. Just a quick one. So we had item number 1, beautification areas in the town. I know we've had some issues around town halls. So we've identified some areas, which is the town hall and the 2 Trans-Canada Highway signs, as well as the flower beds on the corner of North Main Street and around the Hope sign. So Central Landscaping is going to be here on June 24th to do some maintenance on that and kind of beautify the area around there. And item number 2 is the Come Home Here sign that we had up on the walking trail there is going to be replaced by the province's 75-year license plate. So the exact same thing, just a new license plate. Seemed to be a great place for a lot of people. Got pictures and stuff. So that's going to be up this week, I think, Glenn, hopefully. Yep, perfect, this week. And so today it was great to some of my fellow councillors, Fitzgerald, Freak, myself and some staff attended the Pride Parade, which was great and organized by the Elwood High. So great to see a good turnout, and I thank the Atlantic Edge Credit Union for providing refreshments for everyone. Great to see their support all the time. And the final item, just for an FYI, is Main Street Market will be taking place on July 17th with some support from the Public Works just to clean the street and set up the fences and stuff. And so it's a pretty organic event that tends to go over well, and look forward to it. So I make a motion to accept these minutes, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Langdon, seconded by Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question.
The add-on number 4, I thought we were supposed to discuss that after the meeting. I didn't know that was going to be in the report.
Yeah, it is something that we looked at, but we really wanted to pick a date, see if we can make it work. There's been some internal discussions we have here as well. Although if you don't have it with Leafville Strawberry Festival, the attendance be the same.
Yeah. I got no issue with it. I just didn't know it was going to be on there. That's all.
Is that for the Deer Lake Live Main Street shutdown?
Yeah. Well, that's all
I'll
right.
make a recommendation not to override, but myself and Councillor Hancock sit on the committee. There's been a recommendation from a staff member that's heavily involved to possibly move it. We've had some discussion to keep championing it as long as we sit here. So we'll bring that back, and we'll bring you guys a recommendation from our committee in a very short notice to see so we can set a date just to make sure it's all done. How's that sound?
Sure. I just confused. I know it's been Rex department there in years past, and I think that's
no, actually, it's been on the Deer Lake Law. I've had it streamed by myself and Councillor Hancock.
I don't think it'll be much of an issue, honestly. Just give
Yeah,
us
no problem. I just want to know the recommendation of the rec department is July 17th, for obvious reasons, I think. So,
Yeah, and anybody that would like to come in, put their sweat and equity into it, feel free to jump on board, and we'll discuss it further from there. Is there any other questions, comments, concerns?
What are we doing with the old Deer Lake license plate?
I don't know,
I think-
Brad, what do you think?
Wasn't that
The
in
old
your?
one.
Oh,
That's there
what are you
now.
gonna do?
Come home
Be
here one.
discarding it?
not sure. No, I think we're. I think actually Glenn was going to put it up in the stadium somewhere. Was that the conversation we had? Or I'm not really sure, to be honest. Haven't really thought that far.
I know the beach area we had discussed, we were gonna have a gazebo that we're still working towards, but here we are now, it's starting July, and the dates perhaps, I mean, they don't have to be that, but we would be nice to have kind of a point for selfies. Something not, but it's something to consider. That means we do have a large beach
Paint it or
area.
something. I don't care, but it's a big canvas to work with.
Sorry.
That's a great question. Did you want to put that back to your committee? Because, I mean, ultimately, you can recycle it, and it's a historic time and
Recycle it,
states.
make an art project out of it?
Yeah, sure. I just, sorry, I thought the conversation, we were gonna put it, yeah, we weren't gonna discard it. We just
Okay.
didn't know where we were gonna put
Okay, I
it.
just-
Yeah.
Could we put it on the
So-
Goose Arm
It just
Georgia
wasn't
intersection?
discussed.
No, we have a no sign policy
On that
there.
fence, sure.
You'll stop while you're.
So,
stop
so
while
number
you're-
2, we're budgeted for that, right? Like, I don't know that wasn't in the budget.
Yeah, that was about a $84 purchase.
Is it?
Yes,
So you
it's
pick up
just
two.
it's a
Yeah,
coroplast.
shift.
It's a
Kerry wasn't
coroplast
there,
4x8, 4x6 sign, something like that.
Oh,
is
4
that
by
all?
6, I thought
figured
we
it was
replaced.
like a sign.
It's 4 by, yeah.
Like the license plate one that's at the trail?
Yes.
They're gonna replace that one.
Yeah. Same, but just updated.
It's the exact same one, just the province's 75-year anniversary license plate. Still
nice.
says YDF 635.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's all it was. I thought it was a heavier duty sign.
I did too.
No.
That's why I'm asking questions,
Oh,
just.
okay.
We moved it around a little bit too during the come home year,
Yeah, okay.
a little bit, but.
And it's gotten a lot of good uptake too. I mean, I've seen travelers going through, getting their picture at the trailhead with that sign specifically, so good idea.
Yeah.
Any further questions for the non-usually controversial recreation
Mood tonight.
committee report? Hearing none, all those in favor, motion carried. Thank you. Moving on to economic development, Councillor Hancock, please.
All right, Economic Development met on June 13th. In attendance, Councillor Amanda Freak, myself, Economic Development Officer Gloria Field, and I updated the town manager afterwards. Number 1, tourism marketing opportunity, Adventures Unknown on NTV. The Economic Development Officer is proposing to engage with Adventures Unknown's production team to create an episode that showcases our town's broad range of outdoor lifestyle options and highlights the accessibility of adventure right within our town. Everyone hopefully had the opportunity to read the attached documents as well. The project is within the economic development budget, and our EDO, Gloria, is hoping to partner with a number of businesses in the community to offset some of the overall cost. However, that won't be known until after. Really, the decision has to be made, and then some of that offsetting hopefully can occur. The cost is between $10,000 and $15,000 to participate. We feel this opportunity accomplishes the promo side of things that we previously budgeted. In addition, Gloria will have access to the B-roll for future marketing opportunities. Number 2, wayfinding. Formerly referred to as trail branding, on this report we are broadening the scope of this project to incorporate the implementation of signage on roads, trails, and key structures throughout the town. The initial locations are listed below in the report. Number 3, Market at the Beach. Market at the Beach, Friday arts and craft market to take place throughout the summer months to promote economic activity, tourism, and enjoyment of our beachfront. Check out Market at the Beach on Facebook for more details. Number 4, the tourism levy. Continue discussions with stakeholders regarding a tourism levy and potential benefits to visitors and the community. Updates will be presented to the council as we get them. Number 5, Economic Development Luncheon. The Reconnect Business Luncheon took place on June 6th with sponsorship from the Atlantic Edge Credit Union and sponsorship in kind by the Deer Lake Motel, or from the Deer Lake Motel. 43 people attended the session, representing a broad range of sectors. Stay tuned for more opportunities for connection and collaboration. Number 6, the boat launch. Public Works to develop an estimate for completing the preparation of the land at the site. Once completed, the Economic Development Committee will meet and bring back a recommendation. Number 7, the bandstand. Initial samples have been reviewed and more design consultations to be had with graphic artists regarding signage. We actually received some of those today, so it shouldn't be too long getting back to you guys. Number 8, strategic plan. The initial framework proposed at the luncheon with the goal of, was proposed at the luncheon with the goal of holding a strategic planning session for the business community. The event will take place in the fall and will be facilitated by our EDO, Gloria Field. Number 9, age-friendly community. The age-friendly application has been submitted for review. We'll update it as we find out if we have been approved or not. Number 10, the art infrastructure grant. An opportunity came up in time for us to apply for funding that will enable live music, storytelling, and podcasting from the new meeting room at the Hodder Memorial Complex Annex. We are awaiting the results of the application. Number 11, our creative home grant. Awaiting feedback on our application for funding towards a mural at the Hodder Recreation Complex. Eligible municipalities could obtain up to $10,000 for the artist fees for a mural. The motion to accept the economic development report as presented.
All right, moved by Councillor Hancock, seconded by
So moved.
Councillor Freak. Call for question.
Yeah, number one for the Adventures Unknown, like, you're saying between 10 and 15,000, or you don't?
Yeah, but because there's two opportunities really, I guess, and we're not certain which one, I guess, would be the best. I think maybe I'm leaning towards the 10,000, to be honest with you, because you get pretty well all the benefit. By going to the 15, really the big change would be you become like a sponsor of the show. You get mentioned over all the episodes. You just become the main person, I guess, really the main participant. So yeah, so between 10 and 15. But I would probably be leaning towards the 10, and then hopefully the sponsorship on the other end.
So we don't know what's gonna cost. I'm just asking the question, I know we had other things in the economic development budget.
Yeah,
I'm not sure where, Gloria's new, if she's aware of everything that we have there.
yeah, she has her
Total
budget.
costs and
Yeah, she has her
We've been
budget.
reviewing the budget with her,
Mhm.
and we had drone imaging, seasonal footage, like kind of putting all that together.
Mhm.
And when this opportunity came up with this show, Adventures Unknown, it's like somebody jumps off a plane, like
Yeah.
literally gets off at YDF, goes with their backpack, can jump on the trails. We've got, she's thinking that she can get sponsorships through this as well, from like, salmon fishing to time on the lake, go to the beach,
Airport.
check out Spillway Falls. Well, you'd get off at the
Yeah.
airport with your book bag on.
She'd meet
So
with
this is-
Tammy probably or something, right? And then,
Yeah.
or they would or whatever, right?
So it's our hope, the cost would have been close to 10,000, so we had 5,000 for like drone stuff or promotional videos, stuff like that for the town of Deer Lake, which this kind of just explodes what our thoughts were, and then kind of incorporates other opportunities to actually have,
Yeah.
airport sponsorships, other business sponsorships as they kind of go out through that. So the cost at the end of the day may not be $10,000. We'd have to budget that up front, and then you get your sponsorships back for it as they're a part of that programming. So
Yeah. Well, the other
Okay,
thing
we just
is,
get notification how much it's gonna cost
Sure.
before we say,
Absolutely.
like, push the green light.
well, the only thing is really, we'd have to decide at this meeting, I think. Otherwise, the opportunity will be gone. We have to know pretty quick.
Your motion
For this one.
describes basically from 10 to 15 as the
Yeah,
maximum, right?
because we didn't make the decision in the meeting which one. I guess, we can weigh in here to some degree. We can say 10 and just go with that one. That's my opinion.
The 15,000's in the budget?
Yes.
Okay.
But basically in your motion, you're saying 15K is your maximum, right?
Yes, it would be the max.
That's right. That's your worst case scenario.
Worst
Yep.
case scenario.
in
And-
hopes that we could go lower, get sponsorships that we don't even get close to that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then there's footage that we have for years to come, essentially.
100 times over.
Darren, actually, I think you might have been in the economic development budget email. I'm going to remove you, like you mentioned, but you know what I mean.
No, I think when we've been discussing for the last couple of years of these drone videos,
yes, and a
and
promo
everything of
piece.
this nature,
stuff,
I
yeah.
think this opportunity for media exposure is ideal, in my opinion. That's my comment.
As we've mentioned, the B-roll, the added value.
100%.
Yeah.
Hire someone that these are professionals, and just to concur again, I wasn't at the meeting, but I was briefed immediately afterwards, that the money is there in the budget, to do these things. It's a combination, I guess, from our prior deal to this one, it's things we want to do, but by getting us out there, but again, to Councillor Hancock's point, is that we go now and we get this, and then we look for community sponsorships that will surely be able to offset, because we'll want to identify some of the businesses here in the community that are focusing on a lot of things that we have out there.
I know one of the things that Gloria mentioned in the meeting was that they actually are pretty open to like celebrating those sponsors as well, but in like sort of a natural way as opposed to just standing up there. You know what I mean? It's built into the production, right? So I think they just do a good job, and I think there could be a lot of added value. Yeah.
Com-
Yeah.
compared to some other communities that are sizable, obviously everyone, sorry, if you watch NTV, CBS puts a 20-second clip on, and it's probably about 5K for 20 seconds, and they do it every week daily, just to promote. I think this is the best advantage for the size of the budget we got. It's not only a provincial show, it goes national and international. NTV is well known and seen. As stated in the package, it's over 70,000 views. Multiply that by 12 episodes, I think it just goes to show how good Deer Lake is, and I hear lots of good uptake from it. So, and I respect Councillor Jones. I can always respect your eagle eyes on the public purse, and in this
Yeah,
case, I would just,
100%.
I'm going to recommend for myself an approval, but is there any further discussion, comments? Go ahead, Councillor Langdon.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to, I appreciate, seems to be a lot of great work done by the Economic Development and their new EDO. I just do have apprehension just to ensure that we are consulting with other departments as well. You know, I see some marketing stuff around whether it's assets that are managed by recreation or, you know, the boat launch or, you know, right at the end, like the Creative Home Grant. I know we've mentioned before that we're going to apply for some other stuff. You know, I just know from the government side that, you know, we don't tend to be favorable to multiple projects in the same community. So I just want to ensure that, you know, whether we're applying for the Creative Home Grant, make sure that nobody else is already discussing that or hoping to apply for that, because it doesn't tend to be favorable to that, right? I just hope that we're all talking with each other.
100%. That's a good.
And whether it's the graphics or the art or
100%.
that we're on the same page.
Yeah, because we've had a lot of it, and obviously there's crossover 100%.
Oh,
You
for
look
sure,
at-
yeah.
Look at the name of the department. I sit on that one too with you, and yeah, but it's a good comment, 100%.
Right,
I
I just want, you know,
I think
I think it's great stuff that somebody's, you
yeah.
know, initiating it. I just want to make sure
I
that
think
we're
it's a
all
good comment.
working together, right? Whether it's,
Yeah.
you know, I know there's a lot of overlap between health and wellness and rec and
Yes,
economic development now. And
Yeah.
Maybe we could create, because I know, like, even for Gloria coming in, from a finance side, like, I tried to get her budget, to know what other people are spending, like, have a look through the budget so you can see what other people got on the go. So I think it's important that, like, if we're doing grants, just CC her on an email so she can quickly read, she can know, and then if she's applying for something,
Yeah,
she CCs
that definitely.
just a couple of managers, this is what I'm applying for.
Like definitely Glenn and Gloria and Lori to some degree, like with the health, you know, definitely, you know, because if there's Council
A
Langdon
live
stuff.
Google document, essentially, for grant applying.
for sure, yeah. And I just know from like my day job, typically we get a lot of, for example,
Yeah.
in Grossmore National Park, right? There's a lot of different entities that don't always work together, and they don't tend to be favorable when they're, you know, there's 6 different organizations applying from the same community, right? And, you know, even more so internally, and like I said, maybe it's a quick Google Doc or a chat or,
I think it makes sense.
you know, first comes, right? Because I just know, like, you know, even the clerk was chatting the other day about potential options for the library, for example, for this grant, right? And I just don't want to make
Yeah.
sure that we're getting what we want
Yeah.
for the best value.
I will say, I think that like even in our meeting, Gloria said to us, she's like, I think I was a little gung ho with you know one of the events. She was like, you know, and I think she's just full energy, and but that's a good comment, 100%.
Oh, for sure.
I'll bring it back.
And I embrace
I'll
that,
bring it back.
and I like that, but just want to make sure that we're not overlapping and, you know.
100%.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a good comment.
Great
Thank you.
comments.
Yeah.
And just to add to that, Mayor, too, I know that we had in finance there, we had that PSD Citywide that I know, Laura, you've used
Yeah.
for some of the grants. So probably something where even if we had a virtual meeting, just to get on the same page over who's flagged
Yeah.
something for the town, because we can kind of share. It was great. It's a good problem to have. That
Yeah,
we got
that's
so
true.
many
That's
people
true.
applying for money and we're being successful.
Gary.
It's great. You make a good point, but it's great. Now this is what we want an EDO for, was to help out. And I think we're doing a really good job. I got to credit Lori for getting that Girls That Bat
Yeah.
one. That went over tremendous. We're still getting conversations, even in Pasadena, at the minor baseball over what a good job that we did with the girls. So these is good problems to have as a manager, that we're getting so many grant applications in. What are we gonna do with all the money?
Yeah. But it's true though. Yeah, the coordinated piece, 100%.
It's all great comments, and I mean, ultimately, your town manager and your clerk are your backstop, so hats off to you folks. You get to see, you sit on all the meetings, you'll see duplicates, and again, to Councillor Langdon's point, the more you streamline it, the better opportunity you have to get in those financial benefits.
If I can make one more comment, sorry, Mayor, on number 8 as well. Even though this mentions the business community, I do think there will be an opportunity for all of council and to participate as well in developing the economic strategic plan. It's going to be a guiding document, likely for a 12-month period. I think it's incredibly, and part of it may be longer than that, but I think it's really important for everyone to participate in that. And so just a comment, because it mentions just the business community, but it will be council as well.
All right,
It's always a great discussion when you ask one question, is it in the
Yes, yes.
great discussion.
Yeah.
no, and that's what we sit here for, is
Yeah.
just, sometimes I think when we break for summer and you have one meeting per month coming up here, that's probably gonna make for longer meetings, because there's always an interest to see how
Well,
we're gonna
that's
move the
true.
community forward. All right, any further comments, questions, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor of the economic development report, motion carried. Thank you. Before we call for an adjournment, I'm gonna do a roundtable. I'll start and we'll end with Councillor Jones or the town manager. I know the town clerk doesn't want to have much to say, so I just wanna say, last week, I'm not sure which day, I missed this morning's grade 7's attendance here. It's invigorating to see how many youth are in our community that actually want to sit in these seats in the future. We had a couple that said they want to be the mayor instantly, a couple that we spoke about with your history in council, and they said they would like to be on council for as long as you can and beat your record if possible. Just want to say thanks to the teachers and the staff for initiation and seeing it through. Let's see, attended a grade 9 social, which is, I don't recall if anyone in this room had one, but it's pretty neat to entertain. I don't think Councillor Fitzgerald, did we, or I don't recall. Yeah, grade 9. Yeah, but it was nice to go and just have a chat, and actually it was nice to hear back from youth that this council's doing a great job, so hats off to everybody, especially when you hear it from youth. Another one was I missed the annual Sea Cadet review, which I apologize in person for them. Next year or next time around, I told them I'll make sure my schedule is 100% clear. Usually it ends up going out to full council. This one didn't. It came to myself directly because it's one title position that they appoint for that ceremony. And this council does a great job for attending all events that not all of us can get to. So hats off for that. The other one was let's see, I got a couple other things listed here. Attended a walk for cancer, initiated by a resident, Miranda Blackmore. This was a walk for kids for cancer. It was nice to get out and do 5K. I didn't realize how out of shape I am, but now I do. But it was all for a great cause that she headed that off, so thanks to her. And last but not least, Saturday, I'd like to put a shout out to Councillor Elms in Cormac for his help passing out kindergarten graduation certificates like we did the year before. Was held in Cormac due to pending weather. It was a great turnout, and I can say this, I thank the teachers and the parents, because there was a whole lot of energy with 80 kindergarten students in the building. And after the cupcakes were passed out, it was time for me to leave at that point, but yeah, no, it was really nice to see. So that's it for me. Moving on to Councillor Hancock.
Oh,
Do you have
sorry,
anything?
just Mr. Mayor, we forgot the fire report there.
Yeah, we'll finish the roundtable if you don't mind.
Yep,
then
no problem. Sorry, I just wanted to,
No,
I
absolutely.
forgot there too, sorry.
I had my notes. Apologize for that. Councillor Hancock. Councillor Freak. Councillor Langdon.
Yeah, no, Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to add that last week I was in Calgary for FCM, which is the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. It was a great conversation. There was a very large contingent of councillors there for Newfoundland and Labrador. I was quite surprised, actually. It was a great information session. I suggest that it'd be great if we could have a representative there in the future going ahead. But it was I look forward to going around some committees as well and bring back some of the information sessions we had. And just like you said, congratulations, grad week for everybody. So congrats to all of them, and best of luck in the future.
All right, thank you, and good notes on the FCM. I got to see there's quite a uptake, like you said, from this province, so it's good to see you represent.
I will say, just a comment, because I was shocked. There were 6 representatives there from the community of Stephenville Crossing.
And 4 from Torbay, I think, 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah, there's some communities of 4 and 5, but the town of Stephenville Crossing, 1,600 people. There were 6 people. I don't
Good note.
interesting budget line for the town, for sure.
There you go. All right, thank you. Moving, Councillor Fitzgerald.
Not to give a plug to Mr. Shear on NTV News, but our fire index is supposed to be extreme tomorrow, so I just wanna let people know, speaking of fire report,
Great point.
I don't wanna have that tomorrow.
Great point.
So,
Councillor Jones. Town Manager.
Just a couple points. People will notice with our annex, we do have that section of parking lot was paved now down there, so we are getting closer, believe it or not, to that. I know it seemed like a mirage next to Hodder, but we're to the point now where we're actually picking colors for flooring in the gymnasium. So, you know, we're debating over that, but the fence should eventually soon be coming down, I believe, right, Glenn? Once the asphalt is settled now, there's... Yeah. Yeah. So we've been able now, we'll have increased parking, and we'll be looking to, you know, get the lines painted prior to the fall, so that we'll have our parking lot at full capacity, which is something we haven't had since the building has been ongoing. The other thing I just had, Mayor, and you can probably finish up, is that we were fortunate last week to get down to Corner Brook to the grand opening, or the ribbon cutting, we'll say, of the new regional health facility. And Mayor, I'll let you add a little more to that, but I gotta say that even the staff from NL Health Services are excited about the building in Deer Lake. And I know myself, Lori, and the Mayor, and Councillor Langdon spent a bit of time talking about, you know, how excited they are for what's going to happen here in Deer Lake. So, Mayor, I know you you took part in the ribbon cutting as well.
Yeah, and no, it was a historic day, I have to say. When anyone spent any time in the old hospital, it's you know, it's well past 8, and just to see this come to fruition, we've all seen it on the news since 2013, and to see this actually in the doors open. And I know, you know, there'll always be criticism around healthcare, and obviously that's the most important service any government can provide, but hats off to every single person that, you know, brought this forward and made it possible, because when you walk in now, it doesn't have a hospital feeling. And like I said to the Premier and the CEO of the New Health Accord, no offense, I don't want to come back here again, but thank you for the invite one time. Spent enough time seeing family members go through the last one, but even talking to staff, I mean, the morale is up already, and like they said, they'll always have their issues, but anyone that has to spend time there, I think you're very fortunate, and probably, I'm not sure, but I would feel confident saying probably one of the best hospital facilities in Eastern Canada for sure. So hats off to everybody. And I did keep a piece of the ribbon for this community, because we were part and parcel of it, so it's there for Chambers, for whoever sits here in the future. And again, thanks to everyone that had part in making sure that happened. Is that it for you? You're good? Thank you, and thanks for that reminder. Councillor Langdon, the report from the fire department, please.
Yep, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and just a note for everybody, myself, Councillor Freak, and the Mayor met with the Fire Chief Rousel and Lieutenant Schroeder, Lieutenant, last week, so we're doing our quarterly update, which has been going great. So Fire Chief sent me an update there last week as well. The department has taken on 8 members since February, and the retention seems great with those 8 members, which seemed to be an issue before. So current roster is sitting at about 33 members. An ideal roster is 36, so they're very happy with the 33 members currently, and they feel they have 33 active members. In April, they completed a 2-day defensive firefighting course. This is a basic needed for firefighters, so they got all their new members in under that, so they're all fully trained and ready to serve there now as well. They received 27 calls in 2024 so far, so a little over a call a week. The Fire Smart Wildlife Community Preparation Day, Preparedness Day, is on June 26th from 6:30 to 8:30 at Swartz Park. There's going to be a clean-up and education session as well as a barbecue, so they encourage anyone from the community to get out to that. A reminder for everybody enjoying backyards and campfires. Always have a bucket or water extinguisher handy. Also make sure that it's completely extinguished before leaving the area. So, and as Councillor Fitzgerald just alluded to earlier, we're going to be at a high index tomorrow. Is that what you said? Extremely high index. So forest fires are definitely prevalent in the area, and so we should be mindful of that. We've seen plenty of that across the country in the last year. Schools will be out in a few days, so please keep an eye out for children in the community. They're not always mindful of what is going on around them, but just ensure that you're being vigilant in those areas. And Deer Lake Fire Rescue would like to pass along congratulations to all Elwood High graduates. As one chapter closes, another one begins. Remember, they're all very proud of their accomplishments, and they're now taking applications from those grads as well. So if anyone's interested. So that's from the Fire Chief, Steve Rouso. So I think I can speak for most of us here. We certainly appreciate the work that they're doing there, and they're doing great job over the last number of months in particular, I've noticed. So it's great to see, and I hope we can continue to support them. So I don't know if that's just an FYI, Mayor. We don't need to accept. Yeah.
Yep.
No.
I think the fire chief may have got a quote in there for our graduates.
Oh, sorry, he does. Yeah. Before you
It's
act.
grad week. Yep.
Yeah, sorry. Before you act, listen. Before you react, think. Before you criticize, wait. And before you quit, try. I didn't really want to say that because I might be hypocritical of that sometimes, but great quote to the graduates as well.
All right, thank you. And on that note, again, thank you, Councillor Langham, for bringing that forward. At this time, it is 8:43, so we'll call for a mover to adjourn.
I will adjourn, but congratulations to our 2024 graduates from Elwood High this week.
Absolutely. And I do have a spare ticket if anyone else would. Councillor Langdon has your own through your office, I guess.
Yeah. So
If anyone would like to attend.
I think there's, I think you can probably scrounge up for anybody that would like to attend as well. I heard there's some spare tickets left, so.
Yeah, for sure.
It's beautiful. I just left down there. They've got the parents have an incredible job done decorating.
All right.
Stadium.
And on your note, I know who my invite will be, the chief himself, so I'll put that invite out
His
to
son's
him.
graduate.
Awesome. So
He's down there decorating
there's another
tonight.
ticket already. All right, so we have mover by Councillor Freaks, second by Councillor Langdon. Our meeting is now, all those in favor?
We all adjourn.
We are adjourning at 8:44. Thank you.
That might be a new record.